Guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we are diving in to mechanism automation and also compact machine dimensions, which are going to be absolutely useful. So, guys, I hope you guys are ready. So today we are back with some more Seaopolis, and well, you may see some little guys running around because I have been streaming this a little bit to come up with video ideas and kind of getting some stuff organized, and I've been having fun streaming and testing out some mods with you. Now, this mod is not currently in the pack, but it is the miniatures mod, which is super cool. It's basically a port of the Mini-Me's mod from OpenBlocks. And look at this. So basically, I have CCI on right now, and if somebody subscribes to me over on Twitch, and their username on Twitch matches their actual, their in-game name, their Minecraft IGN, then it actually spawns with their skin. If not, it just spawns them in as a regular Steve skin. I don't know if it chooses Steve or Alex, but it spawns them in as a regular Steve skin, which works perfectly. Look at this, but still keeps the name and everything, which is super nice. And yeah, they do sometimes drop in. But it's really cool. I love this little thing. This is like a perfect thing. Also, they're supposed to be able to like attack blocks, and there's also a bigger version of them, which is like a almost like a 3x scale of a regular character that can be spawned in, which is super cool. But yeah, this is just the fun stuff that we mess around when I do stream over on Twitch. We can find me, of course, at twitch.tv/ChosenArchitect. But as the time of this video, I will not be live until next Friday. So if you did miss it, unfortunately, I will not be live till next Friday. But normally I am live Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. Of course, you can find me by following me over on Twitter or by joining the Discord, which is a super cool place to hang out as well. I think enough of that. What are we going to work on today? So while we were hanging out chatting, I think a couple of things that we need to work on is mechanism automation. It is time at this point to get mechanism automation, and there's going to be a lot of steps in today's video on how we're going to manage this. We are going to get a the machine, or what is it called? Compact machines. We are going to get into the compact machines mod, and I basically need to show or get into how are we going to get into this dimension, get it set up so that way we can connect our applied energistic system to it. So that way we have an applied energistic system in there that is being connected from this one. And we also need to make sure we get our wireless transmitter set up in there. And that we need to get this all set up so that way we can set up automation for all of those processes. I know it sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but we should be able to get most of the mechanism components automated today, including steel. We are going to move our steel production, our like, I guess you can call it like basic steel production, and we're going to move it into a much more efficient setup. And then we're also going to set up more of these. We're going to get these automated because we should be able to do that once we have that ready. By the way, I completely forgot about this gas upgrade. I didn't even know it was a thing until today during the stream. Somebody mentioned it. That will definitely help our 3x ore processing and allow us to be able to upgrade it to make it even faster today with the power that we have. I've also went ahead and removed the main upgrade that I had on the range here. I have absolutely no need for a max range upgrade at the moment. The dimensional one, yes, and I don't even want to do the Twilight Forest until we have a dimensional upgrade. So at the moment, I have removed that just to make way for these regular range because it's just wasting power. There's no need for us to use it at the moment. We can use this power, the 4000 RF, elsewhere. And that's what we're going to do. So let's figure out how first we can make compact machines. So at the compact machine mod, we have this thing right here, which is a personal shrinking device. And of course, we can auto-craft the making of the book by holding control when it turns blue like that. And there we go. This is going to be your main tool, and which is going to allow you to get into your compact machines. Now, we need to decide here what size compact machine we want. And luckily, we can craft the compact machine. I don't know if it's better for me to just like plainly craft it, which I really want to do, or just craft it in the miniaturization area. We should craft it this way, but man, since it's so convenient to craft it this way, we might as well just do it this way. And we can make the max size, which is just an emerald. And by the way, if you're looking for emerald, these guys that are out here, do not forget that they drop emerald pretty quickly. The ones that are holding the swords, the pirate swords, these guys, and I think these guys as well. But these guys definitely, I know, I had those spawning in there. They produce emeralds, so you can just capture them and start spawning them in, and you can get yourself some emeralds. By the way, these are penguins from the Twilight Forest, because with CCI, if you've never seen this mod, by the way, beautiful mod. It allows you to do stream integration with Twitch. I really need to get a video out on this eventually and explain really what it is, because it is an amazing mod for my tune. But it allows me to do stuff like this. So if people use their channel points over on Twitch, they can just spawn in pets, and it'll either be a penguin or a slime or whatever I really define it to be. But yeah, such a cool thing. Anyways, back on task. I'm kind of losing focus here. We need to craft one of these. Man, I really feel bad crafting it this way, because I don't know if this is like intentional or not. This is the way that it was set up a few updates ago, but hey, this update's allowing me to make it like that without using 98 compact machine frames. Hey, I'll take it. I'll make it this way. This is the maximum size one. This is awesome, because this is going to provide us with so much space, and I can place it anywhere, right? So right here, we can go into this thing by clicking this. And now we are in a max size compact machine dimension. Now, at the moment, it's not chunk loaded. And if we go ahead and open our map, we can see we're in a void area with just this one thing. However, we are in a different dimension. So we technically need to get refined storage into this dimension. And to do that, we have to make a few things. Also, to get out of here, you can just right click to get out. But before you do that, you probably want to set your spawn point. Hold down shift and right click, that'll set your spawn point. But to get out, you just hit right click and bam, you are out of this block. Really cool that you can fit like a bunch of automation inside of a tiny little block. And there's also redstone tunnels in and item tunnels out. So technically you can turn a setup like this, put it in a small compact machine, run your items into an oak chest like this with a pipe. You can put a chest here and a chest here and just have items pipe in and pipe out. And you could fit this entire automation, or a much larger one, inside of a single block and basically create a machine within a machine within a machine in here. Because you can actually put compact machines inside compact machines, if I remember correctly, unless it's a config. Something like that. So these are the two blocks we're going to need. We're going to need a network transmitter and we're going to need a network receiver. Both of these I do have autocraft set up for. They do require netherite, so keep that in mind. And then we're also going to need a network card, which I also have on autocraft, which is super nice. And we're also going to need to get ourselves another, just a wireless transmitter setup. So simple, bam, let's go ahead and autocraft that. Just a simple crafter here. Let's see, is it going to be done? Is it making the stuffs? It's probably taking a while to make the actual quartz enriched iron. So yeah, that's going to take a minute. So setting this up is pretty simple. A transmitter is going to send to the receiver. So the transmitter needs to be connected to your main network at your base. And then the receiver needs to go into the compact machine or wherever you're setting this up at. So I can set the receiver right here in the middle. Kind of a nice thing to do. I'm actually going to give it some space right here. So give it one block space, so it's one block up. And then I basically need to shift right click on here to set this card. We go back to the main world, and the transmitter needs this card to basically tell it, hey, where am I sending stuff to? But this does cost a little bit of power. So with it running right now, this costs 64, and I think the receiver costs some power. The receiver may not be showing up because we don't have it chunk loaded yet. There it is. It says 0 because it's of course has nothing hooked to it. And it is not currently chunk loaded, but when it is chunk loaded, it does cost a little bit of power. So keep that in mind. So when we go back in here right now, we cannot access our wireless grid, but as soon as we put this on here, we should be able to. Now you may want to put like one range card on here. Like that may be all you really need. That's 24 blocks. That's way more than this whole thing can fit. So that right there is basically it up and running and ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and break this for right now, though. Place it here. There we go. So yeah, no need for a crafting grid as you have one in your inventory. But we do need to potentially get some stuff set up in here. We can leave the walls plain because this thing is actually fully bright, so no mob spawn in here. But if you start to cover things up, things start to change colors and you start to lose light. If you cover this wall, you'll lose light. This is actually max light level, as you can see by looking at the F3 menu. So what exactly are we going to be automating? Well, we need to make infused alloy, reinforced alloy, and atomic alloy. All of these things do require automation. Also, basic circuits, these need to be automated as well. And eventually we're going to have these all automated, as you can see, but they require these alloys. So we need to get all the alloys made and the basic circuit set up with automation. We also need to get steel automated, reinforced obsidian if we can, and refined glowstone. All of that is going to require some setup, but is doable. And that's basically it. And eventually we'll get this all set up. So there's a few steps that we're going to have to take. I'm going to show you all along the way, and it shouldn't be too difficult to get set up. We are going to need a lot of crafters though. So crafters, might as well make like 10 of those just to get started. And also some barrels and some things like that. We need inventories and pipes, and we should be good after that. So right here, let's go ahead and start off with how this is going to work. I'm going to definitely need this back one block. I was kind of realizing that after I placed this down. But I want all of my products from all these machines to go into the white ender chest. So let's go ahead and get these advanced logistical transporters here. Instead of me using importers directly, I'm just going to have everything just go into this ender chest. I think that's going to save me on supplies and produce the same result. Another thing we're going to need is we're going to need the machines to go directly onto these cables. So if I eyeball this, I'm kind of doing this off the top of my head. But I'm going to need, let's see, an infused alloy. That's going to be one machine. And we go up to the next one. This is going to be 2 machines. It's going to require diamond dust. But then we get to the atomic alloy. This is going to require 3 machines plus the machine for this to make the dust, which makes us 4 machines, right? And then we are going to need steel, which I think is going to be 2 more. So that's going to be technically 6. So we're going to need technically 6 metallurgic infusers total. So I think I have 5 right here. I'm going to grab the other one from the other set. And yeah, so all of these machines need to be set up and ready to go on this line. They'll probably extend all the way up into the wall, which is perfectly fine. And we'll have another one right there. And then on this side, we will have an enrichment chamber. And this is where things are going to get a little bit different. On top of these are going to be barrels. Because we need, well, there's going to be a cable, actually. Let's see, a logistical cable that is going to go on top of all of these. And then on top of those are going to be barrels. So barrels need to go on top of these, which is going to be a little weird because I have to fly and hold shift. Man, that makes that really hard. You know what? I think just some cobble in the back would probably make this job a lot easier. If I just have something to place them against. And then I can just break it later. I want to split all these cables. You don't want them connecting to each other. They're all going to be technically separate. And then these cables are going to also continue this way into the front of the machine. So all of these need to be separate like so. And I'm going to go ahead and get the other metallurgic infuser. And then last but not least, we need to set up the crafters. This is what is going to apply the automation to this whole setup and allow this to work off of our refined storage system. So there we go. I think this is enough to get us at least the basic stuff going. And I know it's a lot of machines, but we're going to talk a little bit about how we're going to set all this up, because it does take a little bit of work and a little bit of logistical kind of mindset to do this. So I went ahead and moved my pattern grid into here because this is what we need to get started. I've already got power now hooked up. We basically need to run our cable down under the floor that I set. Place this down in here, and we just need to connect up to just one of these, and the whole line should connect. There we go. As you can see, they are all now powered. So the goal, we need to make sure these are pulling. So every single one of these need to be set to pull. I know they're kind of hard to get to. Let's see, what's the best way to get in here to do that? Probably back here. Yeah, back here on these cables. That's going to be the easiest way. Set these all to pull. And then the rest is going to happen inside the machines. And also, yeah, it's just going to happen inside the machines with what we set our recipes to. So this config is just make sure you just empty all this. Make sure this is set to on. And do that for all the machines. And then we're going to come back and we're going to make sure we're going to set the first one up. And then that's how pretty much the rest of them are going to be. Machinery 1 on the metallurgy confuser is very simple. Make sure you turn the eject on. And we can pull this to the side so that way we can see what we're working with. And the front, which is going to be this, we need to make sure that is set to yellow. Like that. That is going to receive our extra product. That's going to be like redstone as our fuel that goes in here. And then the red is going to be our insert on the main item. And then our eject is going to be on the bottom, which is going to be blue. Every single one of these machines need to be pretty much set up like that, except for the chemical or the enrichment chamber, which is going to be set up a little bit different. We can set the auto eject on. The input is going to be this, and then the output is going to be on the bottom. So that's how this one's configured. Everything else, though, needs to be configured just like this one. Now for the fun part, and that's making the crafts for all of it. Yeah, this is where things are going to get a little bit fun. We need to set Mekanism here, and it's probably best to set up over on the side everything that we need. So like this. We're also need to craft enriched carbon, enriched diamond. I'm not really worried about redstone. I'm going to leave redstone the same instead of using the enrichment chamber for it. We also need enriched obsidian. And I'm not worried about enriched gold or anything else right now. These are kind of the only main things that we need to worry about automating. Oh, also in a basic circuit, which I don't know if I have that set up now that I look at it. We may have to add another one. We can, of course, add more to this just by doing the same process and adding it over here and adding a machine for each one, or using a machine that's not used as much to make one of these things, like maybe basic control circuits. So we could potentially use these machines for multiple things. So we just kind of have to keep an eye on that. The big part is proportions and making sure things are set properly. So for example, right here, we have the redstone, which is 10 millibuckets for one redstone. One redstone gets us that much. We need to keep an eye on that because it does change. As you can see right here, enriched redstone gives us 8. So it'd basically be producing 8 of these infused alloy for one enriched. However, we're just going basic here. And also, I don't want to mess with this. I'm going to actually go with processing, and we're going to do this by hand. Let's do iron on these basic processes. We're going to do it by hand. Even later, we're probably going to do these all by hand. It's just going to make things a little bit easier for me to make sure that the recipes are set right. So now that we have this, we can say that 1 redstone and 1 iron is going to equal 1 infused, which we can drag over here and set that as a process. And that process can go right into this machine. And then we can just test it and make sure this is going to work. So at Mekanism, we can say, let's go ahead and request like, I don't know, 5 of these for right now. Is that going to work? Did it put the redstone in? It did. And as you can see, it now has enough to start producing this. And when it's done, the result's going to go to the ender chest, which will make its way into the refined storage system and thus complete the autocraft. So pretty straightforward and simple. I just have to do this now for the rest of them. Some of them do get a bit more complicated. When we have to go and make this, we are going to need the enrichment chamber. And then as far as like enriched obsidian goes, we need to basically say, oh, how much does this make? And how much do we need to use this for like said operation here? This needs 4. So if we use enriched, that is going to give us 2 worth. So we'll have to put 2 reinforced alloys here for 1 enriched obsidian. So make sure you're keeping your ratios and amounts the same. And that's where things can get a little bit confusing and can probably mess up your entire setup if you don't do it properly. So just to demonstrate, right here is going to be our next process. And I want to use enriched diamond. So regular diamond gives us 20. Enriched diamond, however, gives us a bit more. And we can make more out of this. It gives us 80, which means if this is normally 20, 80 is going to give us 4. So we could technically craft 1 diamond or use 1 diamond here in this recipe, which we can go ahead and autocraft. That is going to go into the enrichment chamber, which will go here. One of those diamond plates will give us 4. So this recipe, I don't know if we can set this. I don't know if it does some kind of like fluid thing in the background. This recipe is wrong. So if you go ahead and pull this up, this recipe is technically wrong. You're going to end up with more diamond than you need in there. Basically, what you need to set is 4 infused alloy. Let's see. Infused alloy. You need to set 4 of those in there, and your output return is going to be 4 of these. So you need to change that number to 4, and you can do that just by right-clicking on it. And as you can see, this now is a proper recipe for this craft when doing it a bit more efficiently. There we go. And then finally, we have to do the last one, which this one's a bit more of a process, but it's really the same thing over and over again. To get refined obsidian, we need to go a little bit deeper. Refined obsidian is made this way with a diamond, 1-to-1, 1 diamond powder equals this. So with this recipe, keep this in mind. It's a little bit more complicated, but we know that 1 of the enriched diamond make 80. So that means 8 dust can be produced 1 time with 1 enriched. So that's going to be our recipe. 1 enriched, 8 obsidian dust, and that. But if we want to go back even further, how do we get obsidian dust? It's 1 obsidian in the enrichment chamber. Let's go ahead and set that up first. Same machine. We're going to turn this thing into a factory, so it'll be able to run all this. So 1 obsidian equals 4 dust. And then we move further into this. How do we make this? It is this recipe right here, except this obsidian dust needs to be set to 8. So set that to 8. And then make sure this output is 8 as well, because that's how many you're going to get out of this. And then we can set that into our next machine, which is this one right here. And then we can finally do the last craft, which is this one. And if we take a look at the recipe for, we can get 2 out of this. So if we wait for this to process, this is going to be 1, but we need this to be set to 2, and then our output will be 2. I hope that made sense. My brain works differently than others sometimes, but I hope this made sense and yours isn't melting yet, because this is technically how you would automate this whole process. So I went ahead and made another metallurgic infuser over here, just so that way I can craft this. And of course, this is going to be 1 redstone here instead of this. It's going to be a redstone piece, and it is 1-to-1. Oh, no. This is actually not 1-to-1. This is 1-to-2. So we need to remember that. This is going to require 2 redstone to 1 osmium. So we can click this and say 2 redstone to 1 osmium. It is definitely going to need its own machine, and that still outputs you 1 for that amount, and that's going to go over here. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out on those recipes so you don't mess up. Now let's make steel. Steel. We've already really done steel, so this one shouldn't be too difficult to do. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it takes to make this stuff. So steel right here. We could technically get by with making this a little bit more efficient, which is probably a good thing. If I can make this not want to, why is it doing that? It's still crafting on. Is it because it's auto? Can we do 2-way? Trying to figure out how to get this to work. There we go. Okay. So how do we make steel? That is going to go into, we have an energized smelter. That is not part of the recipe. The smelting, however, will be done, but it'll be done separately. Not in here. We could use an energized smelter, but I don't think I want to. It's kind of an expensive recipe to make. But we need to get steel dust. To get steel dust, that's a metallurgic infuser recipe. But we have to go even further than this. We need enriched iron, and I'm going to put steel dust here. Enriched iron is going to require 1-to-1, but if we go ahead and make enriched, then I believe we can make more off of our coal. We can kind of save on coal here, which is going to be helpful later on. So this stuff right here, so we can make 8. So it's 8 for 1. So it is definitely worth making this recipe here. Oh, by the way, make sure it's not charcoal. That bad boy needs to be coal. Can we go to alternatives? Let's select coal here. I don't know if that's selected alternatives. Apply. No, let's set this straight to coal. I don't feel comfortable with that recipe. There we go. 1 coal equals enriched. And of course, we can throw that to the enrichment chamber recipes. And then we jump back into steel production. And we go back to this recipe. And let's let it hit this. There we go. And then we can change this number to 8. Because we're going to be producing 8 at a time now. We should result in 8 dust. Put our patterns back in. Throw that bad boy over here. And then we continue on. Now that we have the steel dust, we need to use the steel dust, right? Or wait, enriched iron. Hold on. No, that recipe's wrong. This is for the final recipe, is it not? Yeah, that's enriched iron. We need to make enriched iron first. Oh my goodness. Enriched iron is the same though. It's just regular iron and the enriched version. See if we can hold shift and scroll until we get it. Takes a while. Oh, it'll pop up eventually. There it is. All right, so this is still the same. This is going to be 8. And the resulting output is going to be 8 as well. And there we go. Perfect. So now let's test this. Let's go ahead and make the recipe for steel. Just regular steel dust, like just a smelting recipe. So just like this. And then we can go back into our base. And we'll just add that to our smelting recipes over here. And now let's see if we can't make steel. Let's make 64 steel. We'll start that recipe. And then we can head back and make sure that that's properly working. It may even make more than 64. But let's see. Are these working? We are not getting anything because this is not set up right. Oh, I forgot to set that to pull. So there we go. Oh, by the way, this actually doesn't need this doesn't need this in front of it. That was just by accident because of the rest of this stuff. So once it has that, then we should get the stuff in here. There we go. And now that's running. Of course, we're going to get speed upgrades on all this, and things are going to start running a lot smoother once we do that. So last but not least, I've done a little bit of auto crafting, and all I have to do is throw all of these items here into the system. And then voila, we can now auto craft a lot more stuff. However, our speeds and stuff on those machines are not very fast at the moment. They will be faster though once we upgrade them all to factories and things like that, especially the metallurgic infuser one, or the enrichment chamber. That is going to be the big thing. All right, what quests have we completed? We got AC buck for all of that. So now that we have all that done, that is basically all we need. Now we can literally just auto craft an atomic alloy. It is missing an enriched obsidian. See, this is why it's troubleshooting, and we need to figure out now what is missing enriched obsidian. Why? I've got to troubleshoot. Well, that's auto crafting for you. And all it was I just forgot to put the pattern in for the enriched obsidian. And there we go. Now we can craft one of these, and honestly, it's going to make 2 of them, I believe. Because the resulting output, all we have is a recipe that gives you 2, just to make this more efficient use of our equipment. But yeah, it's just going to take a little bit of time because it does have to do the enrichment chamber. But if we were to upgrade this to a tier 1 factory, just by simply, or a tier 1 factory, just by making this 1 card, then us doing this now opens up multiple slots for it to be able to use. So it can technically use multiple things. And the same goes for all of these machines. Of course, they will all eventually get upgraded and will go a lot faster. So guys, of course, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And that huge support is going to go to Sebastian Quest. Thank you so much for your amazing support over on Patreon. And guys, of course, if you're interested in becoming a Patreon yourself and getting a sign in the world and or getting some awesome custom Discord perks, then be sure to check out the link down in the description below. Also, while you're down there, you don't even have to be a Patreon. Just join the Discord. There's a lot of cool things you can get on Discord. Simply just getting notifications when I go live. That is some awesome stuff to definitely join in on. And or all the cool discussions that we have over there. And guys, be sure to check out my Twitch. Of course, it is twitch.tv/ChosenArchitect. It's pretty easy to find. You can follow me over there. And that costs absolutely 0 to do so. But guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video a huge thumbs up. And of course, I'll see you in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching.